like how the safety weapon toxic. I know toxic.
Imagine being toxic in 2020. That's me every day.
Right? Imagine getting offended by toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
You can also do this from the social menu, as the first section lists everyone in the world here. Clicking on their picture lets you easily
That guy
and
talking
mute
about
them.
chicken nuggets makes me want to get like cross-faded. Go back to
Well, like any game,
fucking
there are
nuggies.
malicious people out there. People that want to be mean or rude or will attempt to crash your game or make the world you're in unplayable.
There's no veteran user. There is no
Thankfully,
veteran
there are
user
ways to
visible.
stop
That's another fault.
Your rank goes up.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a veteran.
Veteran users not, bro.
To ranks that will make the game
And
unplayable.
see it
What is
like a
veteran
veteran.
user in rank?
You're a veteran, I think. Let me check.
I am.
This is by the way.
Oh, he is? Okay.
You're trusted.
Yeah.
I can be only
Sure,
veteran
sure.
actually.
I've been trusted for 600 hours. Yeah. I got it when I got to 600.
Oh, I'm the only veteran.
Someone who's at the highest rank is
I can't, like, I turn my world volume all the way down, but I still hear the TV. Something like that. I don't know how to change that.
strangers have a low chance of being
I started playing. When did I start playing?
Fun.
I think it could be like the world
Did you
volume
just say
setting.
clap?
No, I've turned the world volume all the way down. This is
By the way,
something
there are
else.
still
It's
crashes
none
that
of the settings, I've
skim
just
load
left all of
avatar.
them. It's not even
Yeah, just hide the
voices.
entire
I thought it would have been like an avatar in this world or something.
Yeah, for me it's actually
Oh,
not
okay.
working,
Like,
so I'm
it'll
just
just tell
looking
you
at
everything.
Twitch because the stream isn't working.
Well,
I was thinking about getting like premium, but I don't know. So where are
I wanted to talk to people, but it's really difficult with this going on because I can't hear myself talk.
You can set the volume
25.
lower for the world.
No, my world volume's at 0, but I still hear it way louder than any voices.
I get to choose who my friends are.
I can't have a conversation like this.
Oh, I'm friends with a bunch of bad people.
Video I have to make for this
I
convention
checked
because
all my
sometimes
settings, I've put them all the volumes to 0, and I still hear it.
in a negative way, please just block them.
A Twitch window open.
In the hub, everyone.
Am I not stupid?
Okay, actually, they clap, but they're still. Like, if they enjoy.
I was not stupid, thank you.
Other than, crash
No problem.
It was one of my mini attempts.
Fun safety. And we hope you enjoy Furality too.
Alright, cool beans. I can
Alright,
hear
well,
now.
From the mirror and ask them to move, and they don't move, they swap my view again and again and again. I pop them.
That was
That was awesome.
quite the example, but hopefully that doesn't happen to you. But just in case it does, now you know what to do.
Mine does the finish campaign.
So, what all do we have available? The first thing that we should mention is our amazing events that we have scheduled. We have a much more expanded schedule of events compared to the first Furality.
It really does take a lot to piss me off. So when I'm drunk, or frustrated, or high,
All sorts of different interests and to meet people that you can visit every other weekend after this one, right here in VRChat. Then panels and seminars for you guys to not only learn more about VR, but also about the furry. Enjoy these. So, that being said, a fan favorite is Finn's own Club Finn, where our staff members, Mblade and Alofok, have been 12 hours of DJs each night in Club Finn. And best part is, if you, and because it was just so good, all of the sets will replay over the following 12 hours. So you're never without music.
Do you mean that
in Club Inn. Club Inn will open up
I
in
wanna
just a
move to
little
the
bit
club.
after these closing ceremonies.
I'm gonna move to the club.
Nope, it's the one where everyone crashes the
So,
hole, I think.
let's head over here and show some of our amazing staff
Check
members
the
who are working
website.
so hard to put this convention together. Like I said, M-Blade, wow,
You
who we
could
got
also-
playing?
Well, right now we got
Yeah.
DJ Husk. I just put him on this weekend. We have a great range of DJs. Everybody's putting in their all.
Right, it's not open yet.
I'm so excited, and everybody put so much work into it. And I also like to thank Aloe a lot. Like, he did a lot of work as well for getting the ready to go. So
Really nice
Yeah.
lineup. We tried our best
Yeah.
to get DJs from all around and all the different types. Optimal for the EU crowd, have mainly EU DJs and stuff like that.
I need to order a hold up.
Definitely a lot of continents hit.
Yeah. At 2 in the morning when it starts for them, so it's like
Yeah, yeah.
it's okay. So we'll go a little earlier and more DJs.
Australia.
The best time to get it
So
over.
yeah, it's as accessible as it can. You know, excited for you guys to see Club Fin. I know that you guys are probably excited.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Cool things are happening in that world. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you'll see in the
It's-
stream and
It's gonna blow
and
you
hopefully in
away.
person.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited to show you guys because yeah. I can't wait to get it in. Thank you guys for being so patient right now as we get set up. I've been running the DJs on schedule. Don't worry, we will play them again. After our scheduled DJs have finished, we'll replay everything again. But
Yeah,
yeah, see me in World, and I'm running around like,
Did it just freeze for anyone else?
and just do your best moves, get excited, put some energy into it,
Oh, there it is.
and hopefully I'm gonna put together. Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah,
Oh, fuck. That reminds me, I was gonna fucking...
I should replug my visor.
Where's my...
I'm back. Hi there, you watch your stuff.
so
Thank you,
put it
guys.
all in, swing your tail, and good.
Here it is.
Been in just a little bit as well. We had an outpouring of vendors that wished to be included in there, and we accepted as many as hard at work. Putting together all of these amazing booths. The creativity that we've seen from some of the vendors in the dealer's den is outstanding.
Take my headphones off for a bit, and then I'm gonna go into one of those clubs. It's not on this floor.
Art or something else. Chances are there are worlds for you to explore. The dealer's den is meant to be a
Yeah, there's gonna be so many furries here, man. It's gonna be great. Just imagine.
where
It's gonna be feudal.
So while the dealers may not actually
Imagine all the furs that I'm gonna be able to collect for a coat. Yeah. Cheers.
tech information, you'll also
Is that over-render audio
whole
sources?
channel full of
No, I don't think
posts from
so.
those dealers to
I need an audio over-render.
Sora Valley. That's really cool.
I'm toxic, but I'm not that
Ray, are
toxic.
you in?
I don't like overrunning audio or...
I want to do it to people who use global sounds and animations for 30 minutes straight and don't stop, even if you ask them to. That kind of bad toxicity.
those people.
Brule has
It's right over here.
been
Camera's right here.
working with our event hosts to put together this schedule of events. It would be wrong of us a good lineup, but we really hope that you look through the list and join not just
Just walking around.
Yep. We had so many people sending in their applications that it just
Works for me.
it was just so hard to accept everyone. So us in Furality, amazing kind of weekend and full of events and panels and performances that we have set up, and one's going to be really happy with the lineup today, or this weekend actually.
yeah, for sure. Well, with that being said, I think we need to let you guys get to it.
Fall asleep.
So, just a quick is to sign into the Furality portal at furality.online. From there, if you'd like to get into see in the events tab. From there, the easiest way to get in is to click the quick join button, which will send you to an available instance. If you get joined into an instance that don't fret. Chances are that instance will fill up quickly. So if you're looking to attend an instance with your friend, every instance has on your worlds menu and viewing at
In the second instance, I guess.
the instance list listed on the portal website. So if you're hey, let's join Dixie 302. So we're working
Some dog's name.
Sorry if I'm a bit pancake at the moment. Figured I should probably be desktop until, they got the
really
first
hard
time
to
bugs sorted out.
make sure that everybody gets in here first, and then we're if you're not able to be in VRChat for some reason, so you can view this event, as many of you are right now, at Twitch. If you'd like to view the music stream, it's twitch.tv/furalitymusic.
I don't even fucking know. I'm not mad
Well,
at it.
it's been quite the morning, but we've still got quite the evening left.
Guns with lasers every day, so.
We hope that you all have an awesome time, and we'll be around. So feel free to say hi to us as well. All right, guys. Have fun.
I don't think he knows my toxicity, but I think it would be entertaining to shoot him.
Down on my friends.
Later, bitch.
That's how I can reattach the camera. I'm probably gonna stream Discord or something with this camera. I can use it for streaming events. It's pretty fucking great.
Streaming to Discord right now. That's great. Orphans are cringing at the fucking furry.
Hold on one second.
As my buddy just said, disgusting furries. I want to kill them all.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Put the
VI.
phone badge on my avatar, but I didn't bother. Didn't really bother with it either. You're in midair. I have an Xbox 360 key.
It's all good. I'm just chilling. Bourbon. Oh wow, a drink. Let's get a Heineken. Oh.
Beer.
Did you do the auto sign up?
Wow.
What?
Did you auto sign up
So I can do a flip. I can do a flip. Oh, the valley.
I'm gonna turn down the world audio so I can actually hear you.
Oh yeah, you're good.
What?
Auto join. Well, it's kind of funny. This is just a free avatar. Yeah, it's the same colors and. I mean, my Sona has the same colors. Yeah, this is my actual Sona, so we have the same colors.
They
Sorta.
back in February. I didn't get to that one.
They hacked API to accomplish that.
Yeah,
Did we
they
win?
had
I think we
VRChat
won.
helped them with the bot API and all that, but I guess when it got flooded.
Yeah, this time it's a bit more official with VRChat. Since last time we were like, ooh, we got it.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, you're all worried.
The Lucario one
Was
is
over
colorful.
inside the dick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Cloud, no feeling.
I suppose what they need to protect
I gotta put the badge on there. I forgot about that.
Yeah. The original ones are quite ugly, to be honest.
I know, but it
I've
doesn't
before
work.
on API.
Yeah, that's rally adding a lot of stuff.
Why is that always big
Curious to see what the future ones be. Can't be worse than Anthrocon 2019's bad. 2018's bad.
I don't know what they look like.
Whatever Anthrocon was, they had a pig as their as a badge.
Okay.
Not a big fan of that. Aesthetic.
Why, where is?
Yeah.
Why no one invited me? I am sad right now.
VRChat's got a lot of fixes these
I know
days.
like 3 of the
Okay,
yeah, I know 3 of the people
Evans?
up on the screen there like met him at
I think
cons.
they finally got bigger than they were last year.
I'm not sure about the screen position with the bar. I mean, if you
Mainly
stand
idea.
behind it, blocks everything.
Yeah, the
Oh, no, I meant
So,
for convention,
I
with
question
the
that
Tesla.
position.
They've definitely broken that.
decisions.
Yeah.
Join the map.
Flop.
Mapping.
But I was already added to join club. Okay, it will be in
Apparently there's a lot of fighting over Instant
69.
69.
Oh no. Of course we would join that.
No love for 42.
Of course. It's people.
Yeah.
No surprise.
That's their thing open.
I got trapped in an instance with one person for over an hour.
All to do now, I'm just trying to...
Yeah, there's supposed to be the other worlds up, but I guess not yet.
Yeah,
Did
it counts the
behind
invites it says.
no fun.
No. Where is the other worlds? I wanted to have a look.
I wanna dance. Where's the dance floor?
Yeah, it's broken.
Apparently these instances
Everything is
say
frozen.
more
Oh,
than
no.
the actual thing says. They can hold
Is it
like
just
10
me on the
people,
side
or
being slow?
VRChat says no more.
Oh, it's
The
really
site is
slow.
very slow, yeah.
Even though
It didn't do anything. How
Almost
many is
midnight.
69? No.
I don't know. Well, I still... Wait, I can... No, it doesn't scroll down that far. It's broken.
Does
sounds like a big breaking event.
87 worlds.
Oh, they're not even listed on the... Okay. See if they go on the actual website. That was a joke on the world tab.
rejoin another copy of the scroll.
I was actually just in an instance with one of the DJs who's playing today, and the Discord that they were supposed to stream their music through isn't made yet. So they're supposed to stream to Twitch, and they'll just be restreamed.
Nice management. At least it's good looking.
I just saw them praising the
What?
people who organizing
What?
the DJs, and it's like, they didn't do any actual organizing yet.
Amazing.
Meow.
I imagine it's like slapping like a yoga ball because it...
Everything on every layer seems
You
to
just
feel the best,
reveal
especially
your
with all these
evolution.
pictures.
I'm going. Da, 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 da. Guys, it's loading down.
I was gonna join with a million dynamic phones and just show everyone articles.
Yeah, like something. Yeah, I have turned off, like, I don't see 5 people in here right now because I have this settings for like that kind of things.
Let's see what we can get.
To be fair, this avatar isn't the best either. It's like poor, and I don't know why. I don't know how they missed it. I think it's mostly the dynamic bones on the hair.
Yeah, dynamic bone collision counts. Like, these characters are also poor, I guess. And because it has a lot of... now I turned the dark off because I don't have that on, that's for sure. Or I have the limiter on.
I love how animated this guy over here is. He's
The cat, or...
slot open in here now. So hopefully they're able to flip it wide. Yeah, there's a couple slots open now. This is the number 11.
I love how they screwed up the numbering system on the website. So,
yeah. There's so many. Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah. I didn't notice that. 0, 1, 10.
Yeah, it goes in order of alphabetical.
Yeah, if you're typing
there he is.
Disable
Is it here? Hold on, if I go away.
Oh, baby.
I can't change it to us.
I think it's like the... It's better, it's better. I don't know, I don't think it's...
When I think about it, it's probably not me, but...
Yeah, 1060, so it's me. Hi.
Well, I'm also in 1060, and
Really?
I'm on
The 6
1060...
gigabyte or the 3 gigabyte?
6 gigabytes.
The 3 gigabyte.
Okay.
I'm more VRAM. I'm upgrading hopefully within a few months.
Well, I did something stupid. I bought an index with minimum requirements for the computer. That was kind of interesting.
Nice.
But then again, but then again, it's easy to buy computer parts than to buy the index. That's for sure.
Honestly. They're all venturing downstairs.
So like, this is the art
what do you think
gallery.
about
It's
the
not
Quest
open
2?
yet, but that will be, I guess, at some point. And then, right?
It's good tech, I guess. I'm pretty anti-Facebook at this point.
What is this right here?
It's the Bane thing that keeps me outright. But other than that, it's probably a very good thing.
They always tell you. So no Facebook, bad boy. Yeah, I know, but I'm gonna buy a Facebook index. Look, like, okay, my mom is obsessed with Facebook, and so it's like I'm already doomed. Whatever.
Yeah, like, but when you look at it, like the deal you get when you buy Quest 2 is incredible. That I gotta admit.
For sure. It's like sunset. Oh my goodness, it's so multi-use too. It's amazing. It's just, you know, Facebook.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a very good deal, sadly.
Did your voice forget for you too? Yeah. It's a momentary.
People are joining.
Oh,
Another order. Oh yeah.
Stan!
Oh, hi!
Stan! It's been so long! Oh god, the lags. How have you been?
Great! Great! Haven't you...
Oh. The... Yes, hold up. I gotta turn off that mirror because it's causing me to lag. Oh, I haven't seen you in forever. You still just running around dancing everywhere?
I have new custom made my first this is my first Shiba avatar. I performed with it in a
Oh?
Shiba theater, yeah. But what about that? I like
Oh. Yeah.
Actually functional, but just customized. So maybe I'll need to go to some other setting.
Yes, exactly. I want to kind of go to the panels. Also, if you need some assets, like I got a bunch of different ones for that I use for everything on here, like butterfly shaders, all that stuff. If you need something, you could always ask.
Okay.
Ugh. Fucking hell. I gotta go. I gotta find Wolf too.
I just joined the systems because I didn't put this stuff too. So,
It's just a badge.
It's just a badge without any dynamic bones. Yeah?
Yes. It's just a badge without any dynamic bones. You can add dynamic bones to it. If I remember correctly, I think you can. But I am not sure.
So, first dance is about
Intermission.
I put after John. Oh, look at spaceships they have. Oh, look, spaceships. Spaceships. They fly at the left and left. Oh,
Oh shit! Congratulations, Speedy. Ooh. The stream stopped.
The stream stopped. Oh. And I can see someone watching something right there. Damn, why this one? Oh, my face. Damn it. Let's check it out. Oh. Ah. So tricky. Oh. Oh. Sorry.
This has frozen for me again.
Let's see.
It keeps like slipping in and slipping out.
I
don't know.
Oh, I hear it. How are you guys doing? Just
Good.
Oh,
Every time we have a thing.
Hi, Allison. How are you? I'm good, thank you.
just watch me. I am this bird inside the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
You can see what ships are flying from the window. And
Yeah, I
you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still there?
Higher.
Just wondering.
Closer.
This is literally what?
Higher. Higher.
You're fucking with me.
There you go, that's your mouth.
I'm getting my camera. You're fucking with me.
No.
Wait, I can't see.
Ella, do you want me to invite you?
My fucking forehead.
Oh, never mind.
That's your mouth.
Don't stop.
That right there is your mouth.
That's my forehead.
That's your mouth. I'm following your mouth right now. This is directly touching your lips.
Okay, whatever. I can't see this in the camera, so it didn't help.
There's hardly anyone in there.
My nail is on your mouth.
Let's get
It's like
Najee.
right between my eyes, like above my eyes.
The Najee needs to be in here. He
Your
requested
eyes
an
are
invite from me, but that was
between your
when I was
eyes.
in your world, so...
My viewpoint is right here.
In your mouth.
I guess?
No, you may
Seen the
not.
behind before? Maybe it's because I'm sitting down, so it looks different for me. I might not have the neck break, so it could break.
Well, he has to do it through the website. Does he know that?
So wait, doing the same thing over and over and over again with me?
Oh, they're open now.
Tell him to get in here on...
Are they?
And there's nobody in any of them.
Ooh.
I also found out that it's so organized the VRChat window that opens on your PC.
Weird. Okay, I guess I'm not going to that.
There's no one there.
Not
I'm
really.
not gonna go. We're gonna be the only ones there.
You are. There is.
Oh, God.
Wait, does that mean that...
When you're opening VRChat, hold down.
I'm gonna try and look at...
and a Unity window will pop up.
Why don't you just order alcohol?
Desktop below.
Because,
place I can order from.
What do you?
Get the Angry Orchard side. Yeah, they don't have the Angry Orchard ciders though. I want to see if I can get those.
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry, guys.
My PC is relatively new, and I can usually handle it. I think what it is actually a bandwidth problem, more than it is a PC problem.
I've never been to this event at least.
Right. Oh! Hi. Hi.
I didn't expect to run into you here.
Yeah, I'm on my dancing avatar, so not in Shiba. Have you seen my Shiba avatar? I mean,
Maybe, probably.
Made for me.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But yeah, I wasn't expecting running into you here. Hello, how are ya? I haven't seen you in forever.
I performed this Shiba, huh? But for dancing, better price. That's one.
I haven't seen you in forever though. Where have you been? Where you been?
I'm just looking for you to chat, so I'm going to VR only during the weekends. But I love Shiba VRChat. When you see they perform, maybe I will perform with them.
I perform there a lot.
Okay, and what have you been 3 days ago?
3 days ago?
Yeah,
I'm currently getting my...
3 days ago, for 4 hours without stop.
Are you talking about the fucking Shiba 2nd year anniversary show? I was going to say, because I was there. I was one of the performers for that show. But, yeah, like a few days ago, I was getting my cheeks clapped by my boyfriend. So, I wasn't on VRChat.
Oh, I should cover this mirror. I have small mirror right there.
Oh yeah.
I should cover. Where's your full body?
But
oh, you just
yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I see. I can't fucking do the infinity walk. Oh fuck. Well, I can't because I have a chair, like right here, where I've been sitting during the opening ceremony. But yeah, I was. What'd you say?
Because it's this convention with the highest quality I've seen in VR. Because on European Fury convention there was no even a stream. I know why, but still. On Antracon there was only one. This system with how to join with registration, I think it made it very good. So I hope there will be more and more convention like. And I never been downstairs. Have you been there?
Yes, there's an art gallery down there, but it's not open yet.
Oh.
Vaughn was currently trying to get in there.
Oh. The art.
But,
I'm just. Wait. I'm streaming. But I have no one.
Your home and you should see like a little square.
The art gallery open later tonight. We'll spend out an announcement and let you know when to check it out. What's there? Is the portal? What is portal goes? Oh. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Oh. Wow, where am I, by the way? What's this? What's this, by the way? Oh.
It's the front of the ship. It's the pool.
I wasn't even sure how there could still be advancements until you said like, oh, there's
This
a
makes
lot of
me
moves
still
that are just
a
seemed as
little
weaker
scared
or
to be in the water.
not advantageous.
Because I haven't been in
So
a real
just
film for a long
so it makes sense that
So,
there's
like,
probably
It sort of
still
gives me
some
a sense
avenues.
of
I don't know how much longer.
water.
Because in the past, largely what
I
they
know
would
it's
do
fake,
is
but I
that,
know it's also sort of.
computers would look at the history of all past games, and then they would basically take the move with the highest probability of winning based on all that history. So it was more backwards looking than forward looking, whereas the new AIs,
Because it just
they would
chops out the
basically,
best of what we have.
yeah, whereas the new AIs, they're able to actually think for themselves. So they're able to continue with like threads of logic, which better parallel how humans learn. So the newest AI is far more human-like than the past ones.
Yes, you can.
So it's really cool. There's a lot of books written on it. I'm no expert on the topic. All I've done
There's
is
no
watch
collider. You can
videos,
just.
okay, so yeah, I think it's something worth digging into if you're very curious about
That's
it.
definitely been the source of a lot of my COVID education has been YouTube and like podcasts and things like that on like some really complex topics. But
For me, it's
I love
like reading the college textbooks, which I skipped over. All the stuff which I clip noted instead.
Oh god,
You'll
the
go
one
about.
thing, I love learning everything under the sun. The one thing I cannot, and it's so hard for me, and I'm sure if my mom and dad were here, they'd kill me.
Oh, hold on, I need to update my
It's the one thing
my instance number. Hold on. I am in number 11.
For it to be an integral part of my life, it's a very big part of my job, but like, I hate it. I don't want to learn any more than I know.
Right. What's your day job right now?
So I work in human resources. So I do like mostly like employment law and legal compliance for companies and stuff like that. I work very closely with finance. But I do like outsourced HR for like a lot of big companies, a lot of small companies all around the world.
Yeah, math is tough. I really enjoyed it in high school and I was okay in college, but I realized that like I do appreciate the beauty of math. I did like buy a bunch of like books when I was in high school and read it for fun, but at least in the college environment where like I didn't really have like the same like social rewards, I guess, because like in high school a bunch of my friends were like the fucking dorks and nerds in the math team and stuff like that. Like that was where I had a lot of fun with it. And then in college, you know, that the whole structure kind of evaporates and it was like whatever, I can get a good grade or I can get an okay grade. I don't really fucking care, right? I've got other things which I'm working on. So I realized that you know, it wasn't something which I was gonna. How so?
My family was like going back to my great grandfather. Like they were all doctors, all in the sciences. Heavy math. A lot of like there's some biology majors, some doctors.
Apparently my eyes are glowing in the dark.
Yeah, they are. I think they have a mission.
Yeah, no, I don't really. I want people to see my eyes at least.
yours is yeah. Oh, you forgot to remove the collider on the plane.
Oh wow.
Hi.
Hear something scary?
Sure.
You remember me? Remember I scared you?
Yes, when I had recently
There's someone I want on my friends list. Hi.
And I sent you friend request.
I don't think anyone else here on my friends list. Hi. It's good to see one yellow name.
I wanna dance.
Go dance.
I did so.
That's the thing, you don't have to think about it.
No, I've set it on auto.
Yeah, it lags a lot for me.
So, if I got in, I got in. If I didn't, I guess I could check online here.
It is a stream, I think. Yeah, it is a stream.
You should go to the kimono meetup.
So I can listen to without.
Most likely, yeah. Most likely, yeah.
That
should be something. Over here, I think. Yes. I like to heighten your stream video.
There's any other things going on at that time.
Content. Yeah. Crafting a visual novel for Affinity Openings for Affinity Furality. That one's already been.
Where's the Regzio meetup for me?
There you are.
Yeah, it says it's closed. I guess I missed it.
I know you're doing that spinning around the room thing. Furality Open. Some of it's just done. DJ 101 panel. Oh. Okay.
But still, have an invitation.
Yeah, I haven't asked for that one yet.
I'm so I'm going to be a number...
Instance is now full.
No, 18.
Your is now full.
Number 18.
So, where's the this?
I'll be in number 18 if you need.
Okay.
Why I cannot join?
Hello.
Hello.
Be immersed right now. I'm being furries.
Sticky desktop. Hey, Disco, can you tell me what these are? Right here. What are these?
I can't. Oh. Let me fucking in, dude. This fucking.
Click on the thing.
Program. I know, but.
What are these?
Why are there? Oh, I can't see that. Why are there that in here? I forgot we're like in a public instance with like people I don't know. So I can't.
I'll take a picture of them.
So, what I wanted to ask is, like a convention, I'm 19. Well, I'm gonna be 19 tomorrow. Anyway, but tomorrow's my birthday. Anyway, so Fox wanted to ask.
I was just trying to get instance.
What can I expect from this con? I've never been to an event like this. I mean, I've been to Comic-Con.
It's basically normal VR chat, but with a bunch of furries. That's the best way I can explain it. However,
it's fine.
The stuff that you can expect here is different than like normal conventions and stuff. That we have a bunch of stuff that's going to be streamed in some of these instances, and some of them are going to be actual meetups that you can join. I believe most of them are going to be taking place here, though. In this world, there might be other worlds. I'm not sure yet. If you have any more questions like that, I suggest going to the Discord because I'm not the person to go to. I'm just an attendee.
Okay, I'm going to another thingy.
I'll see if I can. Yeah.
You have fun with that Viper.
There's like a little teleporter right here.
You and Stenville are the only people I know here.
Yeah. Be a bit of fun.
Be like that. So I'm trying to find an instance that more people are at.
I really like your furry. By the way, I like.
Thank you.
Yes. L.
Aren't you wearing a furry avatar at a furry con?
Oh, Mr. L would like to say hi to you, by the way.
Oh shit, hey Dorky. Oh, hello. Hey, do I... have I met you before?
On and off we bump into each other.
So Dorky, so my friend Mr. L, he wanted to say hi to you, because, you know, he...
Yeah.
Nothing happens here.
Yeah, tell him I said hi as well.
Oh, he said hi to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him.
Maybe,
Do you recognize Mr. L?
Yes.
Well, he's not here. Yeah, he recognizes you.
I don't know where that other Exilium went. Hipster, dude.
He's having a hard time joining, by the way, so he's trying to get into this area.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just hopping
Yeah.
around. I'm just trying to find one of more friends of mine. Gotta look at Hipster Fox guy, I wanna add.
Furality.
Hipster Fox guy.
There's no one watching me, so I...
Oh, I don't see him. Let me check the friends thing. I don't see him.
Support, contact, privacy. Okay.
Wings are disabled.
Normally we should be able to fly, but I have a lot of like 50% less gravity.
Running impossible. Just wanna go. Excuse me, lady. Never strong. I had a girl like you. So long. Why wanna you, baby? Too fast. Just wanna go. Excuse me, lady. Never strong.
Small. You throw the same height, and then I'm like really, I'm like smaller. I'm gonna eat some more.
check out the convention.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ah, this is my first time here.
Yeah, I'm a bad
Okay.
got a lemonade with chicken wings
Go with me.
bad bitch, she's quite thick. So I might just call myself a chain and 19 slim shotty with a tank top. I'ma let him out to my cake.
Are you waiting for somebody? What are you doing?
No, I was kind of saying okay. Okay. I kind of all tapped in and just like, oh, you're right. Okay.
You're a doing the wrong thing. So Europe and UK aren't the same thing.
11:56 p.m. No, the UK left the European.
How was that?
I don't know. I didn't notice the difference outside the fact that I got fucking messages on my Spotify. That's the name of the game.
Oh yeah, he could like wear that like
It's pretty good.
Everything there was, and I was like, never mind, I'm okay. It scared me.
Thank you. Glitter has automatic.
So.
Okay, you want a drink?
Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, you're cool. That's awesome. It's a public avatar. If you go to Furhub and go to, oh god, who's the creator? Checkdoll. It's a Checkdoll avatar.
The creator or the person who uploaded that, Nick Arena. No problem.
Oh. Well, the portal at Furhub was a Checkdoll.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it? I'm not sure what best guess is that it's probably the
VRChat is working.
because they changed the schedule because of the failure this morning.
Apparently,
the
convention broke.
Yes!
Oh yeah, it fucked the servers. Ooh.
Oh, I think some of the next events are starting very shortly.
Oh yeah? How do I get there?
Just go to the schedule, click auto join on what you want to participate in, and then it should invite you whenever the event starts.
There's only 3 events listed on the website right now, and there's no information for dealer stand yet.
I can't join. I was our 3.0.
No, I'm discount ramen.
I see people getting in there, and it won't send me an invite. This is bad.
Invite for what?
I'm charging. Oh, there it is.
There's only 3 events that are listed for me. Okay.
What is next,
Rip.
Lowe's?
Wait.
The Rexium meetup.
Really? You only
Yeah,
have
but why
like
would you
that
wanna
amount
go
of
to
time to get in there?
Making new avatars in
Because
VRChat can
Rexiums
be
are
pretty
cool.
scary.
Which room are we
Some
in?
time together to learn the basics of
What's a Rex? Never heard of one.
We're
10?
in Dixie 10. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go check this thing out and I'll be back, maybe.
Oh, that's your
Are you trying to kiss me or what's this?
You're a Rex. It's a Rex.
Hello everyone, I'm Echo.
Are you AFK?
I've been around on VRChat for nearly a year now. I've been working with avatars for about half that. And I'd first like to give you a big thanks for attending my panel, Avatars 3.0, and giving me about 30 to 45 minutes of your time to teach you all a little bit about taking your avatar from Avatar 2.0 to Avatar 3.0. And if you're here, I'd like to think you're either someone who works on models or is interested in getting started doing so, in which case you're definitely in the right place. So, first things first, what is Avatars 3.0? And why should you care? The simple answer to both of those questions is that it's all about expressing yourself. Not only does SDK3 enable one huge feature of Unity that we haven't been able to use until now, we now also have the action menu to control all of it. That means more hand gestures, more customization, and just overall more ways to express yourself than ever before. The big change that we have now is direct access to Unity's animator controllers. Walking and running, hand gestures, all of these are animation states that can be modified very easily, not just in what animation plays, but even how they transition among each other. Just to give you some examples of what you can achieve with SDK3, imagine being able to activate animations with a combination of hand gestures, or even just by speaking a word. It's actually difficult to list off all of what you can do, because I'm still finding ways to do things that I didn't think were possible. Needless to say, SDK3 is a huge improvement in what avatars are capable of.
Okay.
Now that I hopefully have you all excited about what you might be able to do with SDK3, let's see if I can teach you a little bit about the key concepts. It won't be super in-depth, but it should be enough to get you started. Let's start with the avatar descriptor component. This is something that the SDK uses in order to figure out what your model looks like and how it should put together the animations on it. Some of you may already be familiar with this, but SDK3 does add a lot of new areas to fill out for new features and reduce problems that occurred with SDK2. If you're brand new to uploading avatars, this is what it looks like. And this is just a small sampling of it. To get started with it, this is the very top will be the view section. It's where you're going to tell VRChat where you put your eyes. And the only new thing here is that the edit button at the very right is a nice quality of life feature, and that allows you to actually drag the view position around in Unity. Lip sync is where you actually tell VRChat what movements to make when you do talk with your microphone active. You end up picking your mesh, you assign the bizemes. It's all very simple. The first new section I'm going to talk about here is the eye look section. And that allows you to set up how your avatar's eyes work and how we blink. At the very top are some personality sliders that will affect where your avatar will look and how often it moves its eyes. And I would play with these just a little bit, but the effects are relatively minor. Next is where you tell the SDK which bones are your eyes and how much they should rotate when looking up, down, left, right, and straight ahead. And finally, you have the eyelids, where you tell the SDK what you should do to blink. the next new section is the playable layers section. And I'm actually going to skip this for now, because the rest of the panel is about this section. For the lower body section, this is something you're not likely to touch unless you own full body tracking and a VR treadmill, or you're looking to do something that's a little bit outside of the scope of this panel. Finally, the expression section is where you're going to set up your action menu and your avatar parameters, and I'll cover both of those shortly. Okay, now that we've talked about the rest of the descriptor, let's go back to those playable layers and the animator controller. As I said earlier, the animator controller is a huge change that SDK3 brought with it, but I'm going to start at the very top and introduce the layers first, and then we'll get into the animator controller. So here are the 5 playable layers. As you can see, I've separated them into the 4 transform layers and the 1 non-transform layer. And this distinction is important to make because while it isn't technically enforced per se, putting an animation on the wrong layer may have it act strangely or not work at all. Using the same controller in multiple layers can also cause problems, so please keep it to 1 layer per controller. So, just a short description on each of these. Starting with the base layer, which is where you put your locomotion animations like walking and running. This is a little bit more involved than it sounds, so if you don't touch this, I don't blame you. The additive layer is for animations you want to overlay onto your base animations like idle movements. However, this layer is a little bit special in that you can only animate humanoid bones. If you want to have an idle tail swish or an ear flick, you're going to want to put that onto the gesture layer. The gesture layer is also for movements relating to hand gestures. Mainly so that if you're not using a valve index, your fingers will still move and make the appropriate finger movements. You should also be putting anything related to the movement animations tied to hand gestures in here. And the action layer is for animations that will override all of the other layers, usually things like emotes. There's some special rules with this one, so I'd highly recommend taking a look at the SDK documents and using the example provided by the SDK to make sure your emotes don't accidentally wreck something. Finally, we have the only non-transform layer, the effects layer. And this is likely the layer that you'll work with the most, because it is the only layer where you should be putting animations that aren't transforms. If your animation moves blend shapes, swaps materials, fiddles with shader settings, or enables or disables an object, or anything else that isn't moving your avatar's bones, it must go in this layer. This might mean you have to split an animation into 2 parts in order for it to work properly. And it goes without saying, keeping your layers organized makes it much easier to work on and troubleshoot. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, and I really do believe it deserves this much of an introduction, because it really is that big of a thing. So without further ado, here is the animator controller. This one is actually relatively simple. All it does is control the addition and removal of some clothing. But that's the beauty of it. You can make some simple things with it, or you can do some really complex things with it. And with it being as approachable as this, I believe anybody can do this stuff. But let me actually describe what you're seeing here. So, the technical way to describe an animator controller is that it's a set of layered state machines. And if you're not sure what that means, think of it like your avatar is going through a whole bunch of flowcharts at the same time just to figure out what animations should be playing. Each of these layers on the left is a single state machine, or a single flowchart. And on the very right
you can see all of the things in that flowchart. Let me actually take a quick step back here, and we're going to start with actually a brand new layer. And the first thing you want to do when you create a new layer is you want to set its weight to 1. Do that by clicking on the gear, and that little menu will open up. This is important because setting the layer's weight to 1 means it will take the full effect of the animations in the layer. I can almost guarantee that everyone here has or will forget to do this at least once, including me. I have definitely forgotten to do it way more than I will admit. If you're 100% sure you got everything set up correctly and your animation still isn't playing, it's probably because you forgot to weight the layer. Now, we have the green entry, the red exit, and the blue any state. And every layer will start with these. The entry is where the flowchart begins, and the exit is where the flowchart ends and loops back to the entry. The any state is, I'll get to that in a moment. First, I'm going to right-click and create 2 empty states. You'll also notice that although I added 2 states, one is gray, but the other is orange, and connected to the entry point. The orange one is the default state. There's an animation in here. It will always be the first thing to play. It's functionally the same as the gray one. Unity just highlights it for you so you know it's the default state. And finally, the any state object is special in that it counts as both of these states, or any other number of states that you happen to create. And that's for the purposes of transitioning away from it. Again, I'll get to that in a bit. But all a state really is a container for an animation. It doesn't have to contain an animation, but it usually does. Here's the inspector for the default state we made. And the main things you'll want to look at are the motion and the add behavior button down here. Motion is almost self-explanatory. It's where you're going to insert the animation that you want to play when it reaches this state. I haven't touched most of the other options, but if you figure what you're doing with those, then by all means. However, I do want to touch on write defaults real quick, because as of the update very recently, just last week, VRChat no longer wants you to use this. It's turned on by default. It might not break anything if you leave it on, but the best practice for this is to turn it off. What that basically means is that if you animate something, you need to also make an animation that undoes the animation that you just did. If you have an animation in state that puts on a piece of clothing, you'll need to have an animation in state that takes it off, similar to our previous example. It's a little extra work, but it makes animating more explicit. And the last thing I want to cover here are the state behaviors, because these are pretty useful to know about and they're quite powerful. I don't want to spend too much time on these because they're somewhat advanced, but they are worth mentioning for further reading. There are 6 state behaviors that you can add. The animator layer control allows you to change the weight of a layer in one of your animator controllers. Weight is, I'm not going to cover weight too much more than this, but again, it basically affects how it affects your model, how the animations affect your model. The animator temporary pose space allows you to move your viewpoint to the head of your avatar. There are some restrictions with this, but it is something that can't be used to scale an avatar while it's being worn. If you do find out a way to do it though, just let me know. The animator locomotion control allows you to turn off and on player movement, though you will still be able to move around your play space while you're in VR. The avatar parameter driver allows you to change a parameter to a specified value. That's useful for having 2 layers talk to each other if needed. and parameters are something I will get to in just a moment. The playable layer control is the same as the animator layer control, but allows you to change the weight of an entire playable layer all at once. And finally, this big boy down here at the bottom is the animator tracking control. And what that allows you to do is disable or enable movement on parts of your avatar. Setting any of these to animation will lock their movement for the animation in the state. And you'll need to set them back to tracking in another state for them to become unlocked. Alright, we've got our states. Now we need a way to get around between them. So, let me just add some transitions here. Transitions are the gateway from one state to another. And theoretically, you can have as many transitions as you need. You can even have multiple transitions to and from the same two states. And that might seem weird, but you see why it might be useful very soon. So here's the inspector for the transition from our default state to our other state. You'll see that it has options mainly relating to how the transition goes from one state to the other. Transition duration is, of course, how long it takes to get to the next state after the transition begins. The offset is how far into the destination state's animation it should transition to. Usually you'll want this at 0. Interruption source allows you to set something to interrupt the transition.